if you're watching this video, it means you want to dig a little deeper. You're the kiasu type that want to see, okay, Mark, you gave me questions, so the answer, do you have any clues that I can give you into, what can we see in Timothy and Epaphroditus? What are the specific examples that we can learn from these two gentlemen, and how should that reflect in us today? Well, let's think through the traits of Timothy and Epaphroditus. How would it look like for us to serve with the same mindset as theirs? How can we be seeking to appreciate and honor those whom we know serve the body of Christ like they did? So if we put ourselves in their shoes, how would we look like? Or if we were to take their jackets of character and put it on our shoulders, how would we do things? Well, the first thing that you will see is sacrificial Christ-like service. Notice that both Timothy and Epaphroditus, their character is none concerning themselves at all. Remember, it's 3 days journey from where Paul was to Caesarea Philippi, and they are willing to go front and back 3 days, just so that the Philippian church can be encouraged and that the gospel can be proclaimed. That sounds very selfless to me, right? And it's Christ-like, because why? As we remember the lessons on Philippians chapter 2 verses 1 to 11, the same character of Christ is humbling, it's serving, it's sacrificial. They were distinctive features of Timothy and Epaphroditus. They were also faithful in carrying out the task which has been sent out before them. Indeed, for Epaphroditus, it nearly cost him his life. So we see Timothy and Epaphroditus, they are willing to go beyond their own lives to complete the task at hand. If you wonder why your NCO, at the NCO training school, the officers are very hard on you, because they wanted to show you how that you can actually accomplish the task even when you thought you could not. Yeah? And most of all, they served out of a sense of genuine love, care, and concern for their fellow believers. Again, it's that selfless, sacrificial, Christ-like service. Okay, that they're able to love and care for others. That is their goal and their ethos or their characteristic in life. Now, some of you may be wondering, how does one go beyond what we think we can do? So very often we think those who serve sacrificially amongst us, will be taken for granted too. Yeah. So we tend to take them for granted, and we tend to end up overusing them, right? So perhaps we should think of ways to express our thanks and appreciation for their tireless works and service to Christ, which they carry out among us. So we're thinking about our officers, we're thinking about our NCOs, we're thinking about the NCO in charge of the worship team, we're thinking about the NCO in charge of cleanliness. He comes early and leaves late to make sure that you leave the church or school spotless, same if not better than when you first came to it. These are the selfless characteristics that we want to appreciate and emulate, so go ahead and show appreciation to them too. Now, can you do it? That's a question that some of us may have in our heads. Can you do it? And I want to encourage you to say that you can. And my hope is that you will just go beyond what you can see and just do to a point where you feel that you can't do anymore. Then you look back and realize, I've done a lot. I'll never forget this movie called Facing the Giants. And in one of the scenes there, there was a young man who says that, I can crawl on the ground of the football field, maybe up to 20 yards, which is basically 20 yards will be about 20 meters. Yeah, 20 meters. I think I do 10 meters, I die. But anyway, he said, I think I can do 20 meters. To which then, the coach says, I think you can do 50. In fact, I think you can do more. No, I don't think so. So he said, okay, never mind, get the position. They get one guy to put him on his back, but the coach did something extra. He blindfolded the guy crawling. So why you do that? So I don't want you to give up before you see the finishing line. So he tied it, and they crawled and crawled and crawled. Have I hit the 20? Never mind, just do it. The coach said, I'm sure I've hit the 20, but never mind, coach. Come on, coach. The coach said, never mind, just Keep on at it. You can do it. Do it until you have nothing more. Give me everything you got, all the way. Do not stop. Do not stop until you cannot go on anymore. And he went until he finally fell flat, exhausted, and say, surely I'm at the 50-yard zone. Surely I've crawled 50 meters. To which the coach opened up the guy's blindfold and say, look around, bro. You're on the end gate. You're on the end zone. That means you crawled 100 meters. You can do much more than what you can see. You just got to be willing to challenge yourself. Allow God, who knows what you can do, allow God to challenge you to go as far as He thinks you can, which is definitely much further than what you think. Alright? So dig deeper, not just into the Word, but deeper into yourself, asking the question, can I go more? Can I do more? Can I go beyond? And the answer, in my opinion, is yes. In Jesus Christ, you can.